Hi all! Everything in my videos is pulled from the public domain and I am using them under the Fair Use Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Happy Sunday morning. You guys, this is literally a mishmash of thoughts and ideas that are rumbling around my head. So let's just get right to it, shall we? One of the things brought up by that interview from Meghan and Harry was that there is a big cultural divide between the UK and the United States. And in the Oprah interview, talked about mental health, race, finances, family fallout, everything, including Harry and Oprah's new upcoming Apple special on mental health. And it's been reported that the UK did not take it favorably while the United States did. Well, let me tell you, I'm an American and I did not take it well. I think a lot of Americans didn't take it well. But let's face it, this is where they're living, and they need the United States to like them. If the United States doesn't like them, they're not going anywhere. And when you get down to it, the two of them have reduced the monarchy, which is a 1,000-year-old institution, to celebrity talk show fodder. So here's some basic points I found on Twitter, which I think are spot on. First off, Meghan says she doesn't read the tabloids, but because the tabloids were so unpleasant, she had to leave the country. She claimed that racism was so bad in the UK, they came to the United States, where obviously it's just as bad, if not worse. For security reasons, they now live in a country where everyone has a gun. She was an actress on a top-rated show, but said she was unprepared to enter the media spotlight. She wanted their son to be a prince, although she claims that royalty is a gilded cage that makes people trapped and unhappy. And as an American actress and a friend of Hollywood celebrities, she didn't have any phone numbers for a therapist. Claimed her letter to her father was private, but Harry, being unable to talk to his father, should be shared with the world. Meghan is not to blame for leaving the royal family, but yet Harry says, I couldn't have done it without her. And then he whined that he was broke, apart from the millions left to him by his mother. And as a final coup de grace, he said he loved his grandmother so much, he's completely loyal to her, but yet trashed her family in a worldwide forum. We all know that Meghan made a big deal on the Oprah interview about race and what they were calling Archie's color. But this has been a running diatribe since the beginning. Do you guys remember this? And for those who don't know what this is a page out of the Finding Freedom book where Harry told his family he was going to marry Meghan even if they didn't like it, and then told his grandparents that he loved so much that he would be accusing them of racism unless they agreed to the marriage. Prince Philip even said, and I'm quoting, "We all only hope to God it doesn't turn out to be the catastrophe everyone fears it will be." My goodness, no truer words were ever said. So the big question is, can the British monarchy survive this? And the answer is a very simple yes, it can. We all know that within 36 hours after the interview, Buckingham Palace released the above statement. But it didn't quiet the controversy, and a lot of people criticized the royal family for not condemning racism and suggesting that the couple's version of events may not be accurate. Now, of course, the comments made by Harry and Meghan really hurt the family, but Harry and William were expected to stand side by side at the Diana unveiling, and so everybody thought they would just try to bury this and move on. So for all of their talking about how they want to, patch things up because they're family, when William and Charles actually did reach out to Harry, Harry made sure it was announced on national television and also put out there that the talks were unproductive. Now that, in my opinion, killed any chance of a reconciliation because now the royal family knows that any conversations they have with Harry could become public. Now there's a couple of other points I want to touch on while I have you guys today. Now, when you think about the things that Meghan was complaining about that the palace wouldn't protect her from, one of the things was the fact that she supposedly made Kate cry when Kate made her cry instead. So if Kate made it up to her and she doesn't hold anything against her, then why should the palace give this kind of story, which is really inconsequential, any oxygen? Better to just let it die. Meghan told Oprah that she never Googled Harry's name, which nobody really believes, but had she done some really good in-depth work in a search engine about him, she would have seen pictures of Harry dressed as a Nazi. She would have seen the videotape of him calling other cadets Packies. Here are the clips.
Oh, a little packy friend. Ahmed. That's damn. Come on.
Stand down at me.
You look like a raghead. Look at me. Look at me. Look away.
Does anybody think for 1 second she was unaware of all of that? And if she had been aware, it would have stopped her from marrying him? Because I don't. What you guys may not have seen, which I saw, was by the time Harry sat down next to Meghan under that pergola, he was flushed. He was obviously uncomfortable. He didn't like the way the narrative was going. And at some point he revealed, I'm not talking to my dad. I'm estranged from my brother. I'm estranged from my family. It's all over. I saw this in an article and I thought it was absolutely perfect. What it came down to was, per Meghan Markle, her father-in-law is a prick. The brother's wife was a pain who hadn't done anything to help her with her bridal anxieties before the wedding. The grandmother was a doll, but too easily exploited by the staff. They're loaded with money, but cut off when they most needed the money. And Meghan had convinced her spouse that his entire family was a bunch of losers. Harry even said before Meghan, I was trapped, but I didn't know I was trapped. And she managed to pluck him out of this and make herself and their child his only true family. When you marry somebody, you marry their whole family. By the end of the interview, Harry was sitting there looking stunned and unsure about things. And Oprah asked him if Meghan had saved him, and he goes, yes, she did, without question. And Meghan reached out her hand and touched his arm so he wouldn't go any further. And she goes, I would, he certainly saved my life. He saved all of us. When you get down to it, Harry hurt his grandmother. He's alienated his father. He's alienated his own brother. And by not communicating with them anymore and letting this just die down, there's only so much longer Harry and Meghan are going to be able to go on TV and complain and drop hints and complain. They're going to have, this has an end game to it. It has to have an end to it. Even if the ending is Meghan releasing all of this quote unquote evidence that she claims that she has. By the way, that evidence would be the text messages and the emails from 2018, 2019. The same ones that she was unable to deliver to court because for security, they delete themselves automatically after 30 days. Yeah. And now to finish up for the week, it's a Finn update. I want to let you know he's doing really well. We're still working on the potty training. He had an accident in the kitchen a little while ago, and he did something today that he's never done before. He actually growled at me in a menacing way. I was a little shocked because that's just not something I thought I'd have to deal with, but hubby and I are on it. So don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions and comments below. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter. Don't forget you can email me. And don't forget about my coffee fund. And as always, have a great day.